Hi, I'm Helen and welcome to my channel. Today's class is a Vinyasa Flow class for the Spring Equinox. We'll start in a comfortable seat, so I'm sitting on a blanket to elevate my hips higher than my knees. That way my spine can stay nice and straight, so I invite you to do the same. We'll start with a mudra, Pushan Mudra. On the right hand, the thumb is brought to the tip of the index finger and the middle finger. And on the left hand, the thumb comes to the middle finger and the ring finger. Allow the backs of the hands to come to the knees, the palms facing upwards, and just settle here. So this mudra helps us process change with stability, and it's perfect for springtime as we transition from winter into this new period of growth. So focus on your breathing, deep inhales and deep exhales. Think about what you will embrace as you move into spring. The spring equinox is the first day of astronomical spring, when the sun passes the equator, moving from the southern to the northern hemisphere. The day and the night are of equal length. Equinox means equal night. This marks the change of the seasons as the balance of light shifts to make for longer days. Slowly bring the hands to the chest in Namaste Mudra, and when you're ready, open the eyes. If you're sitting on a blanket, just push it to one side. We'll come into a narrow child's pose. So bring the knees together, sit back to the heels with the arms extended in front. Take a breath here. And then on an inhale, rise up to all fours, lifting the right arm up to the sky for a twist. As you exhale, back to child. Then inhale, come up, left arm to the sky. Exhale, back to child. Again, inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, child. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, child. One more. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, child. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, back to child. Move through some rolling childs now. So on an inhale, come up to cat, and as you exhale, dip the hips, bend the elbows, come to reverse cobra, forehead to the floor. Inhale, cobra to cat, seat to heels, child. Inhale, cat, reverse cobra, bending the elbows, descending the chest. Inhale, cobra, exhale, cat to child. Inhale, cat, exhale, reverse cobra, chest to the floor. Inhale, cobra to cat to child's pose. Inhale, come up to hands and knees, hands directly underneath the shoulders. Inhale, right leg lifts straight behind. And as you exhale, put it over towards the left side of the mat, tucking the toes for a lateral stretch, looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, back to center and plant the toes on the outside of the right side of the mat. Sit the seat back for a hip stretch. Inhale, right leg straight behind, over for the lateral stretch. Inhale, back to center, plant the toes outside the right side of the mat. Sit the seat back. Again, inhale, right leg straight behind, across for the lateral stretch. Inhale, back to center, toes tuck to the right side of the mat, sit back. Inhale, the right leg straight behind, then return to hands and knees. Second side, inhale, left leg stretches behind, swinging over to the right side of the mat, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, back to center, left toes outside the left side of the mat, sit back to the heel. Inhale, left leg stretches behind, swing it across the mat. Back to center, toes come outside the left side of the mat, seat to heels. Back to center, Left leg stretches behind. Swing it across for the last time. Inhale, center. Tuck the left toes on the outside of the mat. Sit back to the heel. Reach the left leg back. And then return to hands and knees. Move up into downward facing dog. So step the feet back one at a time to plank. And then lift the seat to the sky for our first downward facing dog. On an inhale, the left leg lifts to the sky, and as you exhale, bring it forward to the chest. Rotate on that right foot and extend the left leg out for fallen triangle. Hand comes back down, knee back to chest, three-legged dog. Again, same leg, knee to chest, left foot outside the right side of the mat, fallen triangle. Exhale, knee comes back in, three-legged dog. Last time, knee to chest, across for fallen triangle. Exhale, hand comes down, knee to chest, three-legged dog, downward facing dog. Second side, right leg lifts, right knee to chest, rotate on the left foot, fallen triangle. Exhale, knee back to chest, three-legged dog, knee to chest, fallen triangle. Exhale, hand comes down, knee back to chest, three-legged dog. Last one, knee to chest, rotate on the back foot, fallen triangle. Exhale, hand comes down, knee to chest, three-legged dog, downward facing dog. Take a free breath here. Then inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, right knee descends to the mat. Left knee bends, half tiger. Extend the left leg straight behind, right arm in front for spinal balance. Right hand comes down, half tiger. Tuck the right toes, back to three-legged dog. Again, right knee to the mat, half tiger. Spinal balance, half tiger. Tuck the right toes, three-legged dog. Last one, right knee to the mat, half tiger. Spinal balance, half tiger. Tuck the right toes, three-legged dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, left knee descends to the mat, half tiger pose. Spinal balance, left arm and right leg. Left arm plants, half tiger, tuck the left toes, three-legged dog. Again, left knee drops to the mat, half tiger. Spinal balance, half tiger, tuck the toes, three-legged dog. Last time, left knee to the mat, half tiger pose, spinal balance, half tiger, tuck the back toes, three-legged dog, downward facing dog. Take a free breath here. Reconnect. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, left foot steps up. Come up, warrior two. Heel to arch alignment. Front knee over front ankle. Arms to a T. Gazing point. Middle finger, front hand. 5 breaths. Keep that left glute scooped under. Hips are parallel, back arch is active, shoulders stacked over the hips. Jaw is relaxed, breathing is steady. And exhale, plant the hands on the right side of the mat for warrior dog. So really reaching out of the waist here. You have warrior two legs and downward facing dog in the upper body. You should feel this getting into the left outer hip. Then bring the hands to the waist, come back up, warrior two, moving into side angle. So you can bring your hand to the floor, to a block, elbow to the knee, whatever feels good, stretching out of the waist, rotating the upper body to the right side of the mat. Long, even breaths. Then inhale, use the strength of the core to come up, and we'll move into sun god. So squat down into goddess legs, but the arms are in sun god, palms to the sky, celebrating the springtime. Even breathing, knees are tracking over the ankles. Then inhale, rotate to the back of the mat. We'll move into half moon pose. So if you have a block, get it handy. That right leg is straight and strong. Stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders. Get a fixed gazing point. Activate your root lock, your Mula Bandha. Deep and even breathing. Gazing point is to the floor or to the sky if you want to test your balance. Then left hand comes down for 3 Jiva squats. So bending into the right knee, left knee comes behind the calf. Extend back up. Jiva squat. Extend back up. Knees bend. Extend back up. Allow the left foot to come back to the floor, and we'll move into Skandasana towards the back of the mat. So your heel may be lifted like mine, or it may be flat to the floor. Keep that core engaged. That left leg is extended long, grounding into the heel, and then move back to the front of the mat. Plant the hands. Plank, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that was a little tricky sequence, and we'll do it again on this side. So inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, right foot steps up. Warrior 2. 5 breaths here. Front knee over front ankle, back arch is active. Shoulders relax, arms to a T. Shoulders stacked over those hips. Right glute is scooped under. Even breathing. And then come into this warrior dog. So reaching out of the waist, palms flat to the floor. Long even breaths. Stable base. Then palms to the waist, come back up. Moving into side angle, scoop the top arm down, up and around, reaching out of the waist. Do the side angle that's good for you. Remember, the hand can come to a block, the floor. Elbow to knee is perfectly fine. Reaching as far as you can, and then inhale back up to Warrior 2. Rotate and come into Sun God. So sitting down in this wide squat, palms to the sky. Even breathing, knees facing the toes. And then inhale, rotate to the back of the mat for half moon on the left side. If you need a block, get it handy. Stepping onto that left leg, straight and strong, stacking the hips. Right leg is active, foot is flexed. Shoulders are stacked. Gazing point can be at the floor or to the sky. Root lock is a great friend here. Breathing deep. And then exhale, bring the right hand down for Jiva squats, bending into the left knee, extending the right leg back. Bend and extend. One more, bending into that left knee, extend back. Then release the right foot to the floor and come into Skandasana on the left side. I was a bit wobbly here. My heel is off the floor, so I don't have as much stability. Breathing deep. Right leg extended, grounding into that right heel, and then coming forward to the front of the mat. Step back, take a vinyasa. So we move through that twice more on each side. It is a lot to take in, but please stick with it and you'll get it. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps up, Warrior 2. 1 breath here. Then exhale, we'll come into Warrior Dog, reaching out to the right side of the mat. Inhale, come back up. Moving into Sun God. I actually forgot side angle on this side. Sorry about that. Rotate to the back of the mat. Half moon pose on the right leg. Even breathing. Then left hand comes to the mat. 3 Jiva squats. Bending into that right leg. Extending the left. Bend and extend. Bend and extend. Transition is into Skandasana to the back of the mat. So the right leg bends, left leg extended, back to the front, take a vinyasa. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky, exhale, left foot steps up, warrior two. Exhale, warrior dog. Inhale, come back up. Side angle, I remembered on this side, reaching out of the waist, come back up. Sun God. Rotate to the back of the mat, half moon pose on the left leg, straight and strong, stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders, gauging the core. And exhale, right hand comes down, 3 jiva squats, bending into the left knee, extend the right leg, bend and extend, bend and extend. Transition is into Skandasana towards the back of the mat. Left knee bends, balancing on that left foot. Then exhale, come forward to the front of the mat, take a vinyasa. You can always skip the vinyasas and go straight to dog. Do whatever feels good for your body. Last time through, inhale, left leg lifts, left foot steps up, warrior two. Exhale into warrior dog. Inhale, come back up. Side angle, sweep the top up, arm down, up and around, reaching out of the waist. Come back up. Sun God. Rotate to the back of the mat, half moon pose. Stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders. Then left hand comes down, 3 jiva squats, bending into that right leg, extending the left leg. Bend and extend, bend and extend. Then come into Skandasana towards the back of the mat. Rotate to the front, take a vinyasa. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, right foot steps up, warrior two. 1 breath here. Then into warrior dog, reaching out of the waist, back up, moving into side angle, reaching that left arm towards the front of the mat, reaching out of the waist, come up into Sun God, straighten the legs, half moon to the back of the mat on the left leg, stacking the hips, even breathing. Then exhale, right hand comes down, 3 jiva squats, bending into the left knee, extending the right leg, bend, extend, bend and extend. Skandasana to the back of the mat, so bending into that left leg, right leg extended, right foot grounded, and then rotate to the front of the mat. Take a vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe here. So we'll move into a new sequence now. So take a free breath. And inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, left foot steps up between the hands. Ground into the front heel, engage the core. Come up into high lunge. 5 breaths here. Front ribs are in, core is engaged, back leg straight and strong. Front knee over front ankle. Long even breaths. And arms come out to a T and we'll twist towards the left side of the mat. So the right arm is forward and the left arm is back. Hips stay facing forward, twist coming from the back. Use your root lock here. Inhale back to center. Then cactus the chest to the sky, elbows coming out to the side, palms to the sky. Open to receive. Inhale back to center. And then move the feet so you're on train track. So the back heel is planted. You can bring the hands behind into reverse namaste or grab the elbows if that's not within your reach. Then fold forward for half pyramid. So we're only staying parallel to the floor here. Press the hands into the back. Left hip coming back, right hip coming forward. Even breathing. Come back up, keep the hands where they are. Transition into warrior two legs and maybe hook that left elbow inside the left thigh for a variation of side angle. Breathe here. This really gets into the shoulders. And inhale, come back up, rotate to the back of the mat into low lunge with the right leg in front. Plant the left hand and we'll move into horizon pose. So you're on the knife edge of both feet, getting into that right hip here, reaching the right arm back towards the front of the mat and move into Vashisthasana on the left hand. Ground into the top foot and you're going to bring the left knee to the left elbow 5 times. So a bit of core work here. And then stack the feet, come into a traditional Vashisthasana, lift the right leg, and then step it towards the back of the mat for a low lunge. Come up into high lunge. A few breaths here. Reconnect. Then lean out of the waist as if you're grabbing a ball of light and then bring it to the front of the mat, swiveling round. Plant the hands, take a vinyasa. So again, that was some tricky transitions. Stick with it and you'll find it easy to do. Right leg lifts, right foot steps up. Come up into high lunge. Front knee over front ankle. You're on the toes of the back foot. Shoulders are relaxed, arms are straight and strong. Core is engaged, front ribs are in. Fixed gazing point really helps here. This is a balancing pose. Then arms come to a T and rotate towards the right leg, twisting from the back. Long, even breaths. Inhale back to center. Cactus the arms, chest to the sky, throat to the sky. Opening up to receive. Long, even breathing. Inhale back to center. Plant the back foot so you're standing on train tracks. Bring the hands into reverse namaste or grab the elbows. And as you exhale, tip forward from the waist for half pyramid. So only keeping the body parallel to the floor. Pull that right hip back. Left hip comes forward. Fixed gazing point. Long, even breathing. This is getting into that right hamstring. Come back up. Keep the hands where they are. Warrior two legs. And then maybe hook that right elbow inside the right thigh. Breathe in here for this side angle variation. If this is not available to you, you can just do regular side angle. Breathe in deep. Inhale, come back up. We transition to the back for low lunge with the left leg forward. Plant into the right arm and then come into horizon pose on this side. So reaching back with that left arm. This really gets into that left outer hip. And then come into Vashisthasana, side plank. You can have the feet stacked or staggered. Breathe in here. And we'll transition into planting the top foot and bringing the bottom knee to the top elbow 5 times. So some core work. Do what you can. Stack the feet again, back to Vashisthasana. The top leg will lift. And then step it to the back of the mat for a low lunge. Come up into high lunge. Few breaths here. Reconnect. Back leg straight and strong. And reach out the waist. Grab that ball of light. Swing it round to the front of the mat. Plant the hands. Vinyasa. We'll move through that sequence twice more, breath to movement, so it'll be a bit faster. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps up, high lunge. Arms to the sky. Arms to a T. Twist towards the left side of the mat. Inhale, back to center. Cactus the arms, chest to the sky. Back to center. Plant the back foot, train tracks, reverse namaste, forward into half pyramid. Inhale, come back up. Warrior two legs. Hook that elbow inside the thigh. Breathe. Inhale, come up. Rotate to the back of the mat. Low lunge, plant that left hand under the left shoulder, horizon pose, right arm to the back of the mat, Vashisthasana, then bottom knee to elbow, back to Vashisthasana, lift the top leg, step back, low lunge towards the back of the mat, arms come up, reach out of the waist, swing round to the front, take a vinyasa. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, right foot steps up, high lunge. Arms to the sky, straight and strong. Then arms to a T, and we'll come into a twist towards the right side of the mat. Back to center, cactus the arms, chest to sky. Back to center, plant the back heel, reverse namaste. Lean forward out the waist for half pyramid. Back up to standing, keeping the arms where they are. Warrior two legs. Hook that elbow inside the front thigh. Back to center. Rotate to the back of the mat for a low lunge. Planting that right hand under the shoulder, horizon pose. Vashisthasana. Bottom knee to top elbow. Back to Vashisthasana. Lift the top leg. Use the strength of the core to step it to the back of the mat for a lunge. Come up to high lunge. Reach out of the way. Swing back to the front of the mat. Plant the hands. Vinyasa. Always go to dog if that feels good for you. It's your practice. Left leg lifts to the sky. Step forward, high lunge. Arms straight and strong. Arms come to a T, twisting towards the left side of the mat. Back to center. Cactus the arms, chest to the sky. Back to center. Plant the back heel. Reverse namaste. Half pyramid. Inhale, come back up. Legs are in warrior two. Hook that front elbow inside the front thigh. Come back up. Rotate to the back of the mat. Low lunge. Plant the left hand under the left shoulder. Horizon pose. Then come to Vashisthasana. Bottom knee to top elbow. Vashisthasana. Top leg lifts. Step back to the back of the mat for low lunge. Come up for high lunge. Reach out of the way. Swing round back to the front. Plant the hands. Vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Right foot steps up. High lunge. Come to a twist to the right side of the mat. Back to center. Cactus the arms. Back to center. Reverse namaste. Feet are on train tracks. Lean forward out of the waist. Half pyramid. Back to vertical. Warrior two legs. Hook that right elbow inside the right thigh. For side angle variation. Come back up, rotate to the back of the mat, Come into low lunge. Plant that right hand under the shoulder. Horizon pose, step back. Vashisthasana on the right. Bottom knee to top elbow. Vashisthasana. Lift the top leg, step towards the back of the mat. Low lunge. Come up high lunge. Reach forward out the waist, then rotate back to the front of the mat. Plant the hands. Take a vinyasa, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, wiping the slate clean. Exhale, downward facing dog. Oh, I did a little extra chaturanga there. And then bring the knees down for a well-deserved child's pose. You can bring the forehead to the floor or stack the fists one on top of the other and bring the forehead. And just surrender here, reconnect with the breath. That was quite a heating sequence with some tricky transitions. Focus in on the theme of change as we move from winter to spring. If you didn't get all the moves, don't worry, you can always do the video again. Long, even breaths. And then come up and we'll move into some back bends. So bring the body all the way to the floor. You can get there through plank. Ground that pubic bone, keep the legs together. Engage the core, forehead to the earth. Then bend the knees and reach back and grab the outside of the feet for Dhanurasana, bow pose. On an inhale, lift everything up, using the strength of the legs to help lift the upper body. Even breaths here. Try and keep the feet together. It's quite tough to do that. And then exhale, release down gently. Bring the left ear to the floor and just melt. Allow the back to settle. And then bring the forehead to the center. Bend the knees again, reach back, grab the outside of the feet or the ankles. On an inhale, lift everything up. Long, even breathing. Really feeling that stretch all across the chest and the shoulders. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And then exhale, release down. This time the right ear comes to the floor. Settle here for a moment. And then we'll transition into some back bends the other way around. So if you're familiar with Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow, I suppose we'll do now. If that's not within your practice, you can always just do bridge pose. So bring the feet parallel, heels close to the glutes, reach down, touch the backs of the heels, lift the arms up, and fold the hands by the ears. Lift the pelvis, and then using the strength, bring the head, top of the head to the floor. Reconnect here, and then push in to the hands and come up for upward facing bow. Maybe walk the hands in a little. So the goal here is to have the arms straight. This all depends on the flexibility of your back. Really try and lengthen out of the lower back here. Gives you a little bit more space. Remembering to breathe. Chest is facing the back wall. Equal balance in all four limbs. And then very gently release down. Vertebra by vertebra. Bring the feet to the floor. Just settle here. Maybe windscreen wiper the knees from side to side. Don't bring the knees into the chest. And we'll do one more back bend, either bridge, Urdhva Dhanurasana, or if you're familiar, Dvipada Viparita Dandasana, forearm wheel. So plant the hands, fingertips facing the shoulders, ground into both hands and both feet. Lift the hips, bring the top of the head to the floor. Come up into wheel pose and stay here. Or bring the top of the head back to the floor. Then fold the arms so your hands are clasped around the back of the head and your forearms are on the floor for forearm wheel. 5 breaths here. And then when you're ready, push back up into wheel pose to come out. Then bend the elbows, bring the head down, the shoulders down, roll down the spine so the seat comes down last. Release the hands to the side and just windscreen wiper the knees from side to side. Such a good thing to do after a back bend. Allow the back to settle. Long, even breathing. And then plant both feet and bring the knees together for constructive rest. It was a lot of work doing those back bends. They're really energizing and invigorating. They involve a lot of energy. So give yourself time to recover. And bring the knees in one by one to the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Then we'll roll back up to seated, come into some seated forward folds. So extend both legs in front. Bring the right knee into the chest. We'll move into Janushirasana A. So allow the right knee to flop out to the side. The sole of the right foot comes to the inseam of the left thigh. Reach out of the waist, and as you exhale, tip forward over that left leg, maybe holding onto the foot, maybe not. Descending down, relaxing, letting go. This really calms the body, these forward folds, stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing you to reconnect and calm the mind. And then inhale, come back up, swap legs. So extend the right leg in front, left knee comes in, allow it to flop out to the side, reach out of the waist and then tip forward from the hips. Maybe grab that right foot, maybe not. Descend over the extended leg. Long, even breathing. Allowing the body to surrender and let go. Allowing the lower back to release. And come back up. We'll move into Janushirasana B. So with the right leg, you're going to bend the knee and then lift the hips and sit so the heel is on the perineum. So this may feel a little uncomfortable if you've never done this before. Reach out of the waist and lean forward over that extended leg and descend. So the knee here is pointed more forward than in Janushirasana A. Can feel awkward. Inhale, rise up. Release that right leg. We'll do it on the second side. So bending the left knee, lifting the hips, heel comes to the perineum. Reach out of the waist and descend over that right leg. Relaxing down, letting go. Enjoying these moments of the class as we start to wind down. Moving towards final relaxation. Inhale, come back up. Lift the hips and release the legs. We'll move into half hero. So fold the knee back. Now this leg stays as one unit. We're not talking the knee. So it's an internal rotation of the right thigh. Lift out of the waist and descend forward. So there should be no knee pain here. If you find this awkward and you feel wonky, you can always put a blanket under one cheek, and that can help align your hips. So in general, we're either internal hip people or external hip people. I have better internal rotation than external. Release that leg, bring the left one in, fold it back, keeping the knee closed, reach out of the waist and descend over that right leg. Even breathing. Letting go of any expectations. Never worrying about how far forward you come in these forward folds. All that matters is you feel a stretch, you connect with the breath, and then release. And we'll move into pigeon pose. So roll over the feet, come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, right knee comes forward. Right knee to right wrist. Left foot towards the left wrist. Tuck the back toes and walk that back leg back, keeping the hips facing forward. Reaching out of the waist, make sure that back foot is straight and it's not sickled, and then descend down. So the angle of the front shin all depends on the openness of the hip. Mine's quite close to my body. If you're very open, it will be parallel to the front of the mat. Do what's good for you. Don't worry about what anyone else can do, because it's your body and your practice. Just relax and surrender here, enjoying that stretch in the right hip. And inhale, come back up, plant the hands, use the strength of the core to reach back to downward facing dog, three-legged, maybe stacking the hips, releasing that right leg. Then inhale, left leg to the sky, pigeon on the left side. So left knee to left wrist, left foot towards right wrist. You can tuck the back toes and walk the leg back. Hips are parallel to the front of the mat. Descend forward. You can always have your elbows on blocks here. If you don't feel comfortable coming all the way forward, whatever's good for you. You should always feel good in these yoga poses. There's no pain in yoga. There may be some discomfort sometimes as we unravel our bodies, and we also unravel our minds. And come up, plant the hands, tuck the back toes, left leg up to the sky, stack the hips, bend the knee, stretch out that hip, feels good. Then release back to downward facing dog. Jump forward, we'll come back, release down onto the back, using the strength of the core. Coming into a reclined twist. So bring the knees into the chest, the knees directly above the hips, arms to cactus. Release both legs over to the right side of the mat. Breathe here, looking over the opposite shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the other side. Maybe looking over the opposite shoulder if that feels good on the neck. Enjoying this stretch all down the side body. twist always feels so good. Now bring the knees back up. Bring them into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe reach up, kiss each knee, thanking your legs for getting you through this class. And then slowly, one by one, release the feet out. Release the backs of the hands to the floor, allowing the fingers to curl towards the heart. Shoulders are relaxed, back of the neck is long. And melt here into the earth. And I have a reading for you. This is called This Season by Liz Proctor. How hard it is in one season to imagine another. In summer, cold is an impossibility. In winter, the sun will never shine again. Autumn's rain is eternal. Or maybe it's the opposite. We long for change. Whatever we want, it isn't this. In sunshine, we long for shade. In snow, our bones cry out for warmth. In a dry spell, we thirst for rain. Yet there's no need to project forward, to imagine a new season into being. This season, the one in which we find ourselves today, is abundant and wonderful. We need only to live in it, absorb it, taste it, to learn from it how to be in this season. Tomorrow will bring lessons and wonder of its own when it comes, and it will come in its own time. Slowly start to wiggle the fingers and toes, and then reach overhead in a full body stretch. Bring the knees in one by one to the chest, and then in your own time, roll over into the fetal position. When you're ready, push yourself up to a comfortable seat, keeping those eyes closed. Bring the hands back into Pushan Mudra. The right thumb pushes into the index finger and the middle finger of the right hand. Left thumb into the middle finger and the ring finger. Palms up to the sky. Just connect here with your breathing. Think about how you will transition into spring, what you will commit to, and how you will grow. And bring the palms to the chest. Bring them up to the third eye, to the lips, and then to the heart. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Thank you for practicing with me, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.